Good evening, everybody, and welcome to June at PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. It's June 1st, Thursday, 2023, and the markets reacted accordingly. Really, the first day of the month, not every month, but a lot of months, there's a pop. It's just based on, I don't really know what it's based on, but in theory, it's based on, you're turning the page on a new month, the old one's behind, so you can start the next one. Um, there's, there's all sorts of money flow issues that go into cycles, monthly cycles, things like when 401ks get funded and things like that. So when money's pumping, when people are taking payrolls and things like that, those things influence the markets because the money is flowing. So, anyways, today the Dow was up 153 points, or 0.47%. The Nasdaq was up 165 points, or 1.28%. Um, Looks like the transports rebounded a little bit, by almost 1%. And we started to see some signals that are showing up here, like on this is the S&P 500 E-mini futures contract on the daily chart. And we've been seeing this pattern emerging over here. It's really been going sideways for a while with the squeeze, and it's starting to break out. And we had a pullback for 2 days, which kind of was expected after a breakout, and then you just get pulled underwater, and then everybody, a lot of people want to go short, and that's when they get their shorts ripped off, and the market pulls back higher. And you can see we've got a lot of indications going on. Green lines and upticks and all the things going on the daily and the weekly chart that kind of obviously have been showing that for a while, even though there's been a lot of sideways and churn trying to get through this resistance level that's been, I'll draw it on here if I can get a hold of a tool, up in this level, which is actually shown kind of by that red block over on the right hand side. So anyways, we're trying to get through that resistance level, and it's every day. It's, like I say, it's a lot of back and forth, but it looks like it's trying to get there. The Russell today, it's been a lot of churn back and forth, but we've still got some bullishness coming in, some buy signals going on the various indicators down here. We're still red, but things are at least sideways, and they're not pointing lower right now. And the Russell, I believe, was up at one point today. It was up by 1%. It looks like it was up by more than that by the end of the day, but it zeroes out here on the indexes at the basically sometime between 6 and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The Dow, still, it's good. There's a buy signal happening for tomorrow on the True Momo indicator down here. We've got a buy signal on the weekly that's showing up, and if tomorrow plays out and it sticks, then I would say, but you can see there's been a lot of back and forth on the weekly with arrows up and down for what's going on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, something like that. So, and I drew that projection on there last night just to kind of say, hey, we're looking for maybe some follow through that's the same level of what we got from from the lows back 320 of 23 to the highs of 5.1. So just if we can get a zigzag pattern that looks like that going forward, then this thing's going to get, we'll see up past 34,750. And then the Nasdaq just keeps doing what it's doing. It's doing it up in the nosebleed section already, though, so anytime now the Nasdaq can pull back, and when it does, it'll probably shake us a bit out of some positions, and it'd be nice if it just continued this nice climb some little pullbacks and then some more climbing, as long as we get some buy signals along the way so we can participate. Oil, let's look at that. Yeah, that's interesting. So it's red, has a big pullback right up to this line that I drew in for the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern, and if this thing breaks back to the upside and takes out and starts making new highs, then this is negated. But otherwise, if this thing rolls over, we could see a downside move of, I'm going to squish this down and draw a line. I'm not going to be real precise, but something like that. Duplicate that and draw it down. And that puts us down at oil at $51. So let's see how that plays out. I'll leave it on the chart because it's always kind of fun to follow like that. Flip over to the bullish percent indexes. Type in bullish in stockcharts.com and we'll look at, I believe a lot of these are, this one's flat, that's the industrials. The NYA is down by 0.13%. The transports, really big move down while the actual markets went up. So this is a measure of buy signals versus sell signals in the index. And this one went down by from 52% down to 40% today. The NASDAQ up by 0.18%. The S&P 500 down by 0.88%. The OEX, which is the S&P 100, minus 2.08% today. Tacked on an O, but it's red and a 6 because it's the first day of June. And then the NDX went down by 1.72% today. So yeah, that's if we get some follow through, we might see these things come back up. But if we see follow through, if we get a pullback, these things are probably going to go down further. So, and for what it's worth, these things are just like fuel. So you gotta, when they go one direction, then they have to kind of stop and reverse and go the other direction just to regain some energy sometimes. And then last but not least, our automatic trading systems. I took some screenshots to go with, so this is the price action. We had some nice up moves today, some recovery more or less. This is the Dow over here, the YM contract, and this is the move obviously that I'm talking about, the big one there. But then we also have chop that happens, and what this looks like when you get done with your equity is it looks like this. So we had some up moves and some chop today, and that's natural. It just happens, and this is what it looks like on a 6-month chart. So we're just trying to continue to have higher lows and higher highs. And right now we're looking for a new, that's the last high, and we're looking for a new higher high in our equity. So that would mean that we're going to go from this 40 to this $50,000 in our case, based on our size in our accounts. We can scale these down, but like, yeah, because I think I trade 3 contracts in this particular one. So this is the Russell. Looks similar. It had a similar trade today. That one right there. Didn't have as much chop later. And that's what it looks like, on your equity curve. And then this is the 6-month equity curve after that. We've had equity peaks and another equity peak, and we're looking to really take out to get to a new equity peak at some point over here, which would get us from this 24,000 level up to the 28,000 level, and hopefully beyond. So And then this is the NASDAQ, which is the big one that popped today, probably the biggest. But they're all roughly about the same in the same time frame even. Um, but this one actually took a big, yeah, it took a haircut at the beginning. It went down, but it didn't get stopped out. And these things have automatic stops in them. So, and then it turned around and it actually has an automatic signal to get back out too. And if that particular signal wouldn't have been in, maybe we could have ridden this farther. But that signal's in there for a reason, and it's because in the long term, when you add all these trades together, it works out to a nice uptrending equity curve. So you don't take any one trade by itself. You take all these together, and this is 6 months worth of data of trades. And so like we're trying to take out that old equity peak and get to a new one. So take it from 80,000 hopefully to 90,000 and beyond. So that's how this works. Hopefully that clarifies some things for some people, and hope everybody else had a good trading day today too. So take care, guys. Good trading, and we will talk to you over the weekend for the weekend review. Good night.